a Markie Scenic Showman'S engine. This is part 4, and it's all about making the gas firing conversion. This small traction engine is currently fuelled by methylated spirits, and that's what this square tank is at the back. I need to remove this square box and fit a gas tank. This is the one supplied by the owner of the engine, which will supply the gas to the burner. At the moment, underneath the engine, there is still a methylated spirit burner fitted. It's quite a substantial methylated spirit burner, and it fits just up inside the firebox. At the other end of the pipe there is also a collector dish, and the copper pipe from the square tank feeds into this. The small tank underneath the bunker is held in place by 2 bolts, and once I removed the nuts I had to use a magnet to get them out. Here are the components that made up the methylated spirit firing system. You regulate the flow of the meths down into this secondary tank, which is just a dish, it's not a sealed tank, and then in turn the meths flows down the tube to the burner head. Many years ago I remember reading an article in the Model Engineer, and it described such a system and called it a bird feeder system. I'm no expert on methylated spirit firing, but I find this to be a very strange thing. And if you get it wrong and open the tap from the main tank too much, then the secondary tank could overflow, and then you have a fire problem underneath the engine, not just in the firebox. And for this very reason, the owner of the engine has requested that I fit a gas firing system. My first idea is to do it the way I'm showing on screen. I'm marking out a piece of mild steel plate. Currently it's a bit too wide, and it's at this point I really miss my old guillotine, because I need to trim one edge of it to make it the right size. Luckily I've just changed my bandsaw blade for a new one, so it's not a problem at all. It cuts through the steel plate like butter. This video should have been on Patreon yesterday, and as usual I was voicing it over when suddenly the lights went out and the computer died. I sat about for an hour, and I even sewed some buttons on my trousers, but still no electricity. Then I was told by my son-in-law that the estimated time of it being back on was 3:30 in the afternoon. I made the best of it. In the end I went out in my car to pick up some food, and as the road from where I live has been closed owing to bridge repairs, getting to York was quite a difficult job. And when the power did come on, I was horrified to find that my video had been destroyed. My video editor, Final Cut Pro, didn't like the power being turned off. So this morning, Thursday the 21st of May 2020, I've just started again. Here's a gas burner in comparison to the methylated spirit burner side by side. I need to bend this piece of steel to the same angle as the pipe on the methylated spirit burner. And to allow the gas burner's venturi pipe through, I need to cut a slot in it. This seemed like a simple job. All I have to do is fit the piece of steel into the machine vise on the milling machine and mill a slot. But unfortunately the piece of steel will not fit in my machine vise. The alternative is drill some holes in the drilling machine, as you see here, then finish the slot using a fret saw, which unfortunately I do not have. I tried to use this special file that only cuts on the edge, but I don't think my lifespan's long enough for that. Time for a health and safety warning. Caution! Milling operations using a drilling machine fitted with a cross vise are definitely not recommended and could be dangerous. But nevertheless, complete with PPE in the form of eye protection, I'm going to show you that it is possible. Not recommended, but possible. I'm not using a dedicated slot cutting milling tool. Instead, I'm using the side of a standard end mill. The drilling machine is making a terrible noise, but it's actually doing the job. And just for the record, I only took very small cuts. And to my surprise, eventually I got quite a neat slot. A bit raggy around the edges, but that's not a problem, because once I'd finished the milling operation, I cleaned up the slot using a small grinder in my Proxxon motor tool. And once I'd done that, I bent the piece of steel to shape by hand in my large vise. The initial idea was to mount this using the existing holes in the base of the bunker. But because the check valve and pipe was in the way, I couldn't do this, so I had to make a much shallower bend, and I need to make an adapter to fit this in place in the bunker to use the existing holes. In this clip I've just marked the position on the piece of steel where I'm going to drill the holes, and here are the aforementioned holes. I intend to make the support bracket as a separate unit and bolt the entire thing together. Time now to start cleaning up the piece of steel. I'll be painting this very shortly. But before that, I need to find a way to mount this burner to the actual steel plate. I'm just checking the measurement of the Venturi tube, which is 1/2 inch in diameter. And then I made this very quickly by cutting a piece of rectangular brass that I already had, using the bandsaw again and drilling it on the drilling machine. And here you get the idea. Using some 5BA bolts, I mount the brass block to the steel plate. And once I push the Venturi tube of the gas burner into the hole in the block, it should be secured. Now it's just a simple job of sliding the burner into the brass block. Because of the thickness of the paint, it was quite tight, which is a good thing. Here you can see the general layout. One plate that supports the burner that can be bolted to the engine underneath. If I put the engine back up on its end, you can see underneath that the burner is exactly in the centre of the firebox, which is a good thing. The only bad thing about this design, in my opinion, is the fact that to remove the check valve, you have to remove the gas burner. There isn't a blowdown valve on this boiler, and one of the original plans was to be able to access the check valve to drain the boiler after a run. I will give this some thought and see if I can come up with a solution. To conclude this episode, I'm painting the steel plate using some etching primer. And to help me do this, I'm using my very useful painting jig. I painted one side first and then turned it over to sit it on the pins and painted the other side. That's it for this episode. Stay safe, stay well. Thanks for watching, and I hope you found it useful. Please take the time to visit my Mainsteam Models website and click on the section of the website that says Video Playlists. And by doing that, you can find other videos that you may like to watch. And by using the playlists, you can actually watch the videos back to back, making it unnecessary to comment that the videos are too short.